All right, so our first SEL, social justice lesson is going to be in that book on page. So the first half is our writing booklet, and then the second half is social and emotional learning and social justice. And I chose orange for writing, pink for SEL and social justice. And part of what we are going to do is learn about kids around the world and use the kids around. We're going to use this book and these worksheets. We're going to use these to learn about other kids. And the part that's really exciting for me is we use this and we're going to share with each other too. So first things first, I don't know if any of you were able to see the preview, but what I wanted you to do is go to the middle of the book, stitches S1 and S2, S1, S3. So if you could just do this real quick, take a minute to do that. It's only 101. So again, Writer's Workshop book, brand new, orange and pink. And we are in the second half because this is SEL. Oh, maybe I'll put that up too. And this is S for social emotional, E for the emotional, and L for learning, because learning about our feelings and the way we react to certain things, or the things that we like and the things that we're afraid of, or the things that bring us joy are important. Things that make us feel frustrated, all that stuff. And then SJ, for me, social justice is about making sure everyone is taken care of. All of you out there, people that I know, people that I don't know, everyone is safe and being taken care of. Cool. That's my idea of social justice. So, SJ, what we're going to do is I'm going to go through here, and hopefully you have pictures of different kids, right? So these are different kids. And the thing I like about this book and the format here is that they go all around the world. And they did this book. I've had this book for many years. When I first started teaching in 2002, this book was relatively new. This book was printed in 1995, but they have a newer version, which I saw online, and it has even better graphics. The images are really cool. They have maps here, but the template is the same. Plain white background, really colorful photographs of children, and they're very close to fourth graders' ages. Some of them are, if they're younger, they're not much younger. Oscar, for example, Oscar is the tallest guy right here. And he is, so he's 9 years old in this book. Remember, this is 1995. So Oscar in 1995 is 9 years old. Oh, remember our math activity? How we did how old people are, right? Math is everywhere. So if Oscar was 9 years old in 1995, he's not 9 anymore. He has family members, so they show the family, what the child's life is like. There's captions. So what you're going to do, the purpose of this is we are going to learn about these kids. And the part that's really fun is when we're done with this, you're going to create your own. And so your name's going to be up there. There's going to be a photograph of you. You could also do a drawing. Some people prefer a drawing of themselves. That's fine. Your family, and I want to include this, a map of not where your house is, because we need to be aware of safety and privacy online, but you can definitely put what region of California you are. Okay, so let's get started with one out of here. I'm going to take a picture of, let's see, there's a kid in here they got a great smile. That kid, man, that kid's got a great smile. Well, now that look at all these kids got great smiles. All right. That has potential. I'm trying to find someone, you know what, the topic is a kid that's me. This guy, Daisuke. When I was a 9-year-old kid, that's Daisuke. And as you can guess, that's his little sister. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture and show it up here behind me and then show you how to do this. So, oh, sorry, bear with me, folks. All right. Oopsie, that's not a good picture. So we'll do this one. And this one. Okay. So let's go to this picture. And I think I need a darker here. Oh, I have lines. Hold on. All right. Hopefully that's a little darker. Okay. I don't know where the focus is. All right. So let's get a little closer here so you can see. All right. So it says his Daisuke's name. So it's a little hard to read, but I'll give you the basics. Here, it has Daisuke's. It says Daisuke. It says we don't have a school uniform, but we have to wear a yellow cap like this one. So he's talking about, some of us when we're younger. For me, when I went to school, we had a uniform. So that's not something students in Albany have to do. So you and Daisuke already have something similar. The other thing that's a little similar, or actually this is quite different than me. Eraser. So my name is Kevin, and when I write it, it's pretty straightforward, right? But when Daisuke writes his name, he writes his name this way. He says, "This is how I write my name. I was very tiny when I was born, and my parents wished for me to grow up to be big and healthy. So they called me Daisuke." Dai means big. Oopsie. Dai means big. When I grow up, I want to be a scientist and study dinosaur fossils. When I was that age, really like dinosaurs. Anybody out there like dinosaurs? All right. Then you and Daisuke have something in common. I love dinosaurs. Not long ago, my grandmother took me to see the dinosaur exhibit at the Tokyo National Museum. It was the most exciting thing that I've ever done. I would love to visit the dinosaur museums in the U.S. I have read all books about them I have read all about them in my dinosaur book. So I learned already that Daisuke is he is a big fan of dinosaurs. Oh, and sure enough, let me zoom in here. Look at that. He says, that's great. So they actually show his magazines. All right, there's an example of his magazines. And so it's hard to read, but so there's his magazine, and I'm going to trace it's the dinosaur. I won't say it, but it's a dinosaur with the three horns. That was a memorable one for me when I was little. There's one magazine. Oh, look, on both of them, it's the animal with the three horns. And here it says, I'd love to ride a dinosaur. So now, see, I'm already thinking about a movie involving dinosaurs, and I'm curious if Daisuke ever saw that movie. And actually, in 1995, he was I wonder if he was actually working with dinosaurs. Studying dinosaurs. You can't work with dinosaurs unless it's on computers. Here he has a video game, and that's a cartridge that I'm familiar with. Maybe your family, the older people in your family, they might recognize that. So his favorite video game, So Daisuke loves reading books and magazines about dinosaurs. He enjoys watching dinosaur films on television and at the theater. He also likes playing video and computer games. So maybe you are familiar or have something in common with Daisuke there. The other things I'm going to jump away from because no kid, no people, no one thing defines any person, right? If someone asked me about Daisuke, I would definitely mention that Daisuke is into dinosaurs, but that will not be the only thing that that I would say, because up there, right? I'm curious about what's going on there. So here it says, Yasuke has been my best friend since we were little. We like riding our bicycles and playing hide and seek and computer games together. Now that's, to me, that I really like that because when I was younger, my friends and I couldn't play video games because those weren't really a popular thing yet. We definitely couldn't play online the way some of you do. But there's this like tug of war and, wrestling with my friends. That's something I know some of you probably miss too. So include a friend. Down here, I wonder what this is. Oh, this is really interesting to me. So this little thing, at first I thought it was this, right? Like a little tin. It's not. It says, Daisuke's hot water bottle keeps him warm on cold winter nights. It's made of metal and it gets very hot. So Daisuke wraps it up in a piece of cloth before he goes to bed. So he takes something, I think it's about this size. Somehow he heats it up, wraps it in this, and puts it in his bed, and it makes his bed warm. So when he goes to sleep, he's more comfortable. Now here, I don't know what all of you did a moment ago, but it is technically, it was just lunchtime. And what I do is, if I'm learning about somebody and they start talking about food, I get real quiet because I love different kinds of food, especially food that I'm not familiar with. So this says, mochi, rice cakes wrapped in seaweed. Now, the other reason this jumps out to me is I grew up in Hawaii, where there's lots of food from Japan, Korea, all in Asia, and there's chopsticks here. So this is very familiar to me. And some of you in the Bay Area, maybe you're familiar with mochi specifically, or food that's wrapped in seaweed and chopsticks. So here it says, like most Japanese people, Daisuke and his family often eat seafood such as sashimi, raw fish, and seaweed. They also eat vegetables and rice from the farm. Daisuke's favorite meals are pork, spare ribs, and noodles called soba noodles. I've heard good things about soba noodles. So this is one. This is the layout here, right? So I looked at this page, and now there's this page. And this page has more info about his family. So let's go to that side. So on this side, this side says Daisuke, and for some people, this is confusing because you look at this page. If you look at this page, you might think Daisuke is here because there's the name. It almost looks like the person's looking here. But this little kid, it actually says, if you read the caption, it's at the bottom. It's down here. All right. It says, Akane is 7 years old. She always leaves our bedroom in a mess and I have to clean up. So Daisuke has a sister who's 2 years younger. And I had a sister who was 2 years younger. But if anything, I think I left the room a mess and my sister would clean it up. But it was a long time ago. I can't remember. This is Daisuke's little sister. It says, Daisuke is 10 years old and lives near the town of Ogawa in Japan. Daisuke's family runs an organic farm. They grow crops and raise animals in ways that do not harm the environment. Thumbs up if you've heard of organic farming. Thoughts up. For example, they never use chemical fertilizers or pesticides on their crops. They even produce their own, and there's the family. Whoops, wrong way. They even produce their own electricity by using the gas given off by animal manure called biogas to power a generator. So this is Daisuke's father right here. Daisuke's father goes by Ryuichi, and Meiko, if I'm reading this right and pronouncing Meiko, is Daisuke's mother. And then, there's even a youngest member. So there's three little ones. This is Shota, right? And they are 4 years old. And they're little. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Looks like it says brother. Yep, so brother. But either way, Showa. So you will have at least one of these. Some of you have more. And this is what we're going to do, something like this. So in this, I'd like you to turn to this, and on S1, I'll just write down on this. I'm going to clear this off, and then I'll show you what we write down. Cool, doing good. 14 minutes left. All right, number 1. A blank piece of. I wonder if I could get paper. Let me see. Is there a way to get lined paper? There was. I just can't remember what it was. Whoops. Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right. So let's start with the basics. Number 1. That's good. All right. Kid like me. And we'll call this kid like me questions. Questions and notes, maybe? Let's do that. For example, when you pick up this sheet, I want you, first of all is their name, right? So name. Another thing you want to write down besides their name is their age. Okay. Name, age. Another thing is they should say name, age. So this indicates their gender. So if they identify as a boy, they identify as a girl. If that information is provided, go ahead and look at it. Gender? Question mark. And then let's talk about the another thing that would be good would be where they're from. So let's make it broad and say country. Country. If they do give you the country, they might even give you the city or town. Okay. And then the next thing is maybe something about their name, right? So let me change this. That will change. I'm going to add to it. So I'm going to circle name because as you saw with Daisuke's name, there was a very specific name there. And they named Daisuke something, the family. They named Daisuke that name because they wanted Daisuke, they wanted something for their child. So is their name special meaning? Question mark. Okay. All right, I'm going to pause there. So again, the things we have so far, when you're reading a kid that's me. So this, for example, this is Tadesi. So, right. So for me, I would put Tadesi is Tadesi's name. 9 years old, right? Tadesi Asefa is 9 years old, lives in Addis Ababa, which is the capital city of Ethiopia. So if it says capital city, capital is the major city, and then city, Addis Ababa, I would write that here. And I would write the country is Ethiopia. So just if you get this backwards, it's not a big deal. I'm not finding if there's a gender preference. Tedesi has, Tedesi, his mother. So the usual way you can, if you're reading about someone, the gender options will be, if it's a boy, Tedesi is a boy, identifies as boy. So Tedesi is, so it's either boy, a boy might be he, right? A girl would be she, right? So he, she, and they. So all three, he, she, they, all are different ways that people identify as different genders, right? So what are the other things we have? I got city and town. I got age. What's another one? Oh, the food. All right. So in addition to all this, let me get some more info here. Right. So here, let's go to food. Are there special foods? And here I'll put foods, right? Foods, question mark. What kind of foods do they like? Because remember, for Tedesi, it's not just Japanese food, but and seafood. Remember, he likes seafood. His family likes seafood, but the family also is into organic foods. All right, so foods. And the other thing I wanted to do is, how about games? What will be another? Oh, games and friends, because those go together. Oh, I jumped right over it. So here's the thing: when you have this book open, right? S1, and I'll put all this info on a document, and I'll share the document with you. Or you know what I might even do? I might even just write it on S1, and then I'll share this out. I'll share my notes in the Google Classroom. The other thing was, remember this? One of these is a kid, and one is their sibling. So kid, sibling, so family, right? Name, age, gender, city, country, games, friends, and then family. Wakey, wakey. Whoop. And then family. Family. Right? Yeah, that's the big stuff. What else have I got? Oh, school. Here's the other thing. School. Or maybe I can use this. SCH. There we go. SCHOOL. You will notice in all of these, this is the last time we had a global pandemic like COVID was before I was alive. It was the Spanish flu, or they called it the Spanish flu, but the flu pandemic of 2019, that had students staying at home, similar to us. So none of the kids you're going to see here, if they go to school, they all go to school in person. So I doubt that you're going to learn about kids in here. You won't learn about kids who are learning remotely. Not for this activity. We are going to learn about other kids like us, like you, who are learning remotely because of the pandemic. So there's articles coming about that. But the main thing is I wanted you to start with one kid. The other thing you can do is just to practice learning about learning how kids are similar and different is if you have a second sheet. So look carefully on the back. Some of you have, I tried to give you a range as best I could. So I'm going to give you links to some of these kids. This is Andrea. Andrea is from South Carolina. So that's the United States of America. And this kid is Andre from Melbourne, Australia. So different regions, right? And then there's maps. There's maps here to if you're not sure where, like, I'm not sure where Melbourne is in Australia, and it's on that section. South Carolina, I'm a little more familiar with, and that's where that is. Oh, art. See, already I could see Andrea's family and me. We're all into art, so that's interesting. So the basics, Kid That's Me. You have info on that. You're going to look for this info, and then sure, in the back, absolutely, in the back of your mind, if you're thinking, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about, and then food. Like, see, I'm already looking at the food that other people eat. That tells me that as soon as this is done, I need to have another snack. So I'm gonna read here. The last thing is, this is what a student did last year. This is their notes on Levi. Levi is 8 years old. Levi, 8 years old. Levi is 8 years old, lives in Canada, ice skates. So that's games, I guess, ice skates. Levi's dad has the same name. So that's family. Levi's mom's name is Joni. Levi's mom's name is Joni, so it's back to family. Brother's name, baby sister's name is Jackie. Little sister's name. Levi really likes ketchup. That's interesting to me. Ketchup. And caribou soup. So ketchup is a condiment, but Levi likes caribou soup too. Levi plays ice hockey, and Levi has special boots for winter. So what's interesting, I don't know where, so there's a lot missing. Levi could be a boy or a girl's name. I don't know if they identify as boy, girl, or neither gender. I don't know what city Levi is from. I know they're in Canada, this child. They're in Canada. So that's why if we don't know where they're from, we don't, guess. Just because I once knew a Levi doesn't mean a boy. It doesn't mean it is a boy. So we don't want to guess. I do like the special boots for winter. Can you add clothes to this? So anything special about clothes? Because I remember something interesting about the last, my sample kid. Maybe you remember too. Something about clothes, right? Clothes. So I'll leave you with, whoa, that's a big pen. So I don't know if you remember what Daisuke gave some info about Daisuke's clothes. Hint, do they have a school uniform or do they not? Do they have to wear something else? Think about that. Okay, let's see, that's a lot of talking. That's 27. Oh, it says 30 minutes. So it's 1:27. Again, this goes here. All your notes are going to go here. After this live stream is complete, I'll write down this on a slightly more neat and organized way. Oh, it's not Tuesday the 1st. That's wrong. I guess that's it. The other thing I wanted to say was thanks for a good math. Math was really great. I worked with some people who were doing the math, and they were getting quite quick at figuring out how old someone was by using subtraction. If that's easy for you, great. If it's difficult, that's okay too. We'll keep working on it. Just go to Google Classroom, and I'll make sure that your assignment options are updated there. Okay, so that was the end of our live stream for SEL and social justice. More info on Kid That's Me, Kid Like Me rather, children like me. More info on this in the Google Classroom in 3 minutes or less. Bye-bye, everybody.